Good morning, High Button sports fans. Welcome inside the Amera Center here in North Sydney as we get ready for a rematch here between the Harbour Rage out of Cole Harbour and the Joneljim Cougars based out of North Sydney. Off the draw, Rage control. Shot on goal, that's covered up there. Gives us a chance now to introduce our starting goaltenders today. Starting in goal for the Harbour Rage, number 0, Colson Gould. And starting in goal for Joneljim Cougars, getting the nod, number 31, Lane Wambach. Rage control off the draw once again. Carroll's shot, that gets through. Wambach with the save, no rebound given. And another face-off coming up to the right of Wambach. These two teams, like we say, this is a rematch. They played yesterday. Cougars walking away with a 7-1 victory. Harbour Rage looking for a different outcome here today. Puck down in the neutral zone. Mayo turns it up ice for the Rage. Now Chevrier. He steps around his man into the corner. Turned up the wall, it's now O'Neill. Play it up. Avery Johnson gets a touch on the puck. He'll play that in deep and start a change. In behind the goal, Rage will start a breakout. Broken up there by Buckley. Now McLeod steps up and rims it in deep. Around the boards it goes. First on it there, Daleski. He'll punch that back in behind the goal. Now stepping in off the line is McLeod. Can't get it in deep enough as it squirts out into the neutral zone. And here comes Pierce. He'll throw that in deep. Wambach leaves it there for his defenseman Graves. Chipped off the boards into the neutral zone and out. Rage will have to regroup into their own zone. Mishandled there. Given up right there. Now the Cougars on it. Buckley starts a cycle game down low. Now Daleski gives pursuit into the corner. He'll throw it back down low. Played out front, shot there. Kicked aside. Ethan March with a good chance right there. In behind the goal, it's on top of the net now. Turns and fires. That one, I believe, may have hit Marsh on the way to the goal. And the Rage will finally relieve the pressure and send it down the ice. Graves headmans that to Buckley. He'll try and touch it deep, but stopped its progress there, and it'll come right back into the Cougar zone. Buckley feeds Parks. Parks circles back deep into his own zone to find some options. Flips it through the neutral zone, trying to hit Bonner. That one will go the length of the ice for the icing call. Good pressure early on here from the Cougars. Dangerous chances on that last shift there, but not able to get the puck through and on goal. Scrambly draw there, and the Cougars come away with it in their own zone. Played ahead for Parks. Parks steps around his man now. Good back check there from Nash Donaldson. Played around, and here's Mayo. He'll get to the blue line and chip it in deep. Wambach can't control that one as it comes free. And the Rage continue to try and pour on the offensive pressure. Now lead pass, good stick there by Dando. Knocks it off Parks' stick. Now Parks again regroups into his own zone. Played ahead now, Dando. Tried to rim it around. That play broken up here. Shot right off the crossbar. Timmons with a shot there. Dixon, his shot goes wide. More grade A opportunities from the Cougars early on in this one. Cougars clear the zone. It's ahead for Timmons. Timmons walks over the blue line for Johnson. Hops over his stick, so he'll just chip it down in behind the goal. In behind the goal. Throw it out front for Johnson. Shot. Save Gould. Big save there from Gould as Johnson was left all alone in front of the goal. Now in front, block shot there. This is all Cougars right now as they are just pouring on the pressure. Rage will get control. McPhee tries to play it out, but again, turned over there. Buckley with a shot. That just goes wide. As the Cougars' pressure continues to mount. Up top now, shot. That goes wide. Jumping in off the blue line to keep that play alive is Braun. Another shot. I believe that hit a helmet on the way to the goal. O'Neill wins a battle down low. His shot. Gould kicks that aside. More pressure here from the Cougars. The Rage finally able to get it out of the zone, but it's Braun. He'll turn it back up ice quick. Steps over the blue line and leaves it there. Pulling up is Marsh. Up top for Braun. His shot gets through. Gould the save. Kicked out into the high slot. Another shot. Another save. Gould. The onslaught of pressure from the Cougars here. Turned over there. Here's Dulesky. Fires it cross ice. Rebound comes out into the high slot before Donaldson picks that up and skates away. Gets into the Cougar zone. Donaldson tries to play it down low, but it's not able to do so. Back on the stick of Donaldson. Can't get it through, and Dulesky. He'll bank it off the boards into the neutral zone. Dando throws across ice, and it looks like we will have our first penalty of the game, and it'll be a too many men on the ice. Jumping off the boards right into the play. And the Harbour Rage are able to withstand the onslaught of pressure from the Cougars early on in this one. And they will now get an opportunity on the power play here. Draw one by the Cougars. Trying to clear it out. Dando kicks it right back down low. Thrown out, and this one will get through. McNeil on a breakaway. McNeil shorthanded. Good back check right there by Bryce Carroll. Able to break that up, and Dando brings it over the line. Shot. Wambach the save. Nice shot there from Mayo. Wambach. No rebounds given. McPhee lines up to take the draw here for the Rage. Draw one by the Cougars. They'll rim it around, trying to get it out. Chipped off the boards, but not out. Kept in at the line by Carroll. Now the Cougars will try once again. This time it will get through. Dando back to get it. He's watched closely there by Parks. Parks will come away with it, but Dando intercepts the pass, and he's got it through the neutral zone. Over the blue line, Dando cuts to the middle of the ice, knocked off his stick. Cougars retrieve and dump it down the ice. We'll get some fresh penalty killers out here. Played up. Icing will be the call. Carroll trying to quick up, trying to hit Baldwin there. Not able to connect, and it'll be an icing call. 55 seconds to go here in the power play. As the face-off will come back inside Rage territory. Dando, head for Chevrier. He'll get over the blue line, stops up. Watched closely there by Dixon, who will knock that back out in the neutral zone. Chevrier with it again, leaves it there for Baldwin. Baldwin gets over the blue line, and that's as far as he will get. Now Johnson with a burst of speed, coming down, one-on-one with Brandbent. Leaves it there for Dixon, shot, save Gould. Chevrier. Plays it ahead for Price, sorry. Now the Rage enter the zone. 10 seconds left on the power play. as the face-off will come inside the Rush or the Cougars territory. Cleared down the ice, and that should do it. Puck squirts out in front dangerously. Back there to get it is Trudel. Played back into the Rage territory. Penalty over, teams back to even strength. Icing the call. Face off coming back inside the Rage zone. In to take the draw here. Duncan McLaughlin will line up against Kellen Buckley. Draw one by the Cougars. Thrown back in behind the goal. There is Deleski. Throws it out front. They score. Kellen Buckley sitting in front of the goal. And Deleski picks up the puck on the rim, round the corner. And a one-touch pass out front and the one-touch in between the pads of Gould. And the Cougars open up a 1-0 lead. Braun chips it off the glass, down the ice. That will be enough for icing. Another draw one there by the Cougars off the glass. This one will get out as well. This one will curl towards goal, so icing waved off. Cougars on it once more. Carroll. Sorry, Mayo there. Now Dando tries to flip it in, but it's knocked down by Braun. Off the glass into the neutral zone. They're going to say that it hit a Cougar player on the bench. Face-off will come back inside Cougar zone. Another draw there, won by the Cougars. They've been very good in the face-off circle so far in this one. Bonner steps over the blue line, tries to go wide, but he's knocked off the puck there by Trudel. Across there, Simon loses the handle as he's aggressively watched there by Bonner. Now the Cougars have it again down low. Chipped around the boards. Trudel tries to play it up there, but it's kept in at the line by Graves. Thrown back down low for Parks. He'll circle in behind the goal. Parks, shot. Gould kicks that aside. Rimmed around. It's back on the stick of Parks. He'll try and throw it back down low. Cougars pick it up once again. Now Simon will knock it into the neutral zone. But once again, Zenon Parks, quick up, takes it to the outside. His shot, Gould kicks that out. Played ahead here. Now here's Simon. Steps over the blue line. Drops it there for Baldwin. Physicality starting to pick up in this one. Offside's the call. Face off coming outside Cougar zone. Baldwin in to take the draw here for the Rage. Won again by the Cougars. Carroll interrupts that play. But now the Cougars again chip it out, and it's Johnson giving chase. One-on-one with Dando. He and Dando collide in the corner. Puck still free now. O'Neill down to give a hand. He's got it now in behind the goal. Throws it out front. Shot off the... I believe that hit a defender in front, and that'll tip up and out of play. Dangerous chances here from the Cougars in the first period here. Shots currently registered 12-4 in favor of the Cougars. And they hold a 1-0 lead. But here come the rage. Blake Price. He'll lose the handle. Cougars turn it up ice. Gain the blue line. O'Neill saucers it over for Johnston. No option, so he'll circle back, try and start a cycle game, and he's found O'Neill, but it's knocked off his stick. Price knocks it back to his D partner. Back around for Price. He's watched closely there. Now the Rage will get it out. Trudel gets to the red line, throws it in. Wambach air to leave it there for his defenseman. Bodies collide in behind the goal, and we've got a penalty coming. Charging will be the call. Charging the call against Blake Price. And the Joneljim Cougars will get their first opportunity on the power play. A power play that was extremely dangerous yesterday. 4 of their 7 coming off the man advantage. And they'll get their first look here today. That shot blocked into the corner, now thrown down low. O'Neill. Shot blocked once more. Rage, they'll gain control, rim it around, and they'll get it down the ice. Braun back to get it, as the Cougars will start another breakout. Feeds it there for Graves. Graves can't control that. Rage pick it up, and they will get it out of the zone, but not only as far as the red line. Graves winds it up, gets to the red line. Over the blue, now he's still with it. Stops up in the corner. Throws it back for Braun. Down for Graves. His shot tipped in front. Gould kicks that aside. Johnston with it now in the corner. He'll go in behind the goal. Up top, down again. Thrown out in front. It gets through. But Graves steps in once more, and he's got it once again. Back up top for Braun. 35 seconds to go in the man advantage. Graves circles around. His shot off his shin pad into the corner. Dando picks it up and fires it down the ice. 20 seconds now in the power play. As Braun weaves his way through the neutral zone. One last chance here for the power play. Broken up there at the line. The Rage will control and throw it right back down the ice. Austin Crawford gets it out, and he'll give chase. Crawford's still on it here for the Rage. Penalty over. Now McPhee behind the goal. Circling behind the goal still. Knocked off his stick. Mayo throws it over, and here's Trudel. He'll throw that. Wambach kicks that in behind the goal. Broken up there, Dulesky. Feeds that ahead for O'Neill. O'Neill in, shot, Gould, save. Quick transition offense there for the Cougars. Colson Gould has been very good in the Rage net here this morning. 14-4 now shots on goal in favor of the Cougars. McNeil wins the draw for the Cougars. Rimmed around low. Parks can't handle that. As it ends up in front, and Gould will jump on that one again. .123 to go in the first period. Cougars with a 1-0 lead so far. Baldwin in to take the draw here for the Rage against McNeil. McNeil gets tossed out and Bonner will come in. Another draw won by the Cougars. Thrown down low in behind the goal, but Carroll is there to pick it up for the Rage. He'll skate it out of the zone. Head for Baldwin, now ahead. Heavy hit there. Eliminating man from puck. In low, Dixon. He'll lose it from behind the goal in front. Wambach with the save. As Simon comes in trying to find a rebound. Lane Wambach with the save. No rebound, and will take the face off inside the Cougar zone. McLaughlin in on the draw for the Rage. One there by Timmins. Rimmed around, but Trudel jumps off his line and keeps the play alive. Picked up once more here. Trudel, big hit there, but it's enough to get it ahead for O'Neill. O'Neill shot, that goes wide. Hops over the stick of Sims now. Breakaway started here. In they go. Wambach with a huge save as Blake Price almost slips one home. Great chance there for the Rage. But a big save by Wambach keeps it 1-0. 15 seconds to go here in the first. Entertaining period here so far. Sims loses the handle. Chevrier is going to run out of time. And after one period of play, the Joneljim Cougars with a 1-0 lead. A lot of offensive sustained pressure for the Cougars in that period. They are able to slip one past Gould. But a couple of dangerous opportunities near the end of that period from the Harbour Rage as they were starting to find their offensive rhythm. As Wambach had to make a couple of 10-bell saves to keep this one a 1-0 game. Teams will switch ends and we'll get the second period started. 14-6 now. Shots on goal registered here in the rink. Buckley in to take the draw for the Cougars. He'll win that one. Back to McLeod. McLeod circles the offensive zone. Has a look at off the side of the goal, and Carroll picks that up. Fans on his clearing attempt, but is able to get it back. Now, played ahead there for Donaldson. He'll chip that in deep. McLeod back to get it for the Cougars. Plays it for Graves, who will throw it back around, and Daleski is there. Knocks it back for McLeod. Watched closely there by a couple Rage players. Now they'll get it in behind the goal. Thrown out front, Daleski is there to knock that down. Played ahead, here's Graves. Graves steps around his man. His shot, Gould turns that aside. Sam Graves absolutely on fire yesterday. 5-point game, 4 goals. But here is Donaldson. Stops up, waiting for some help. Dondo is there. Throwing it out front. Nobody home for the Rage. Carroll hops off the blue line. Now he's got it in behind the Cougar net. Carroll still with it. Throws it back down low. Cougars play it up but not out. They'll try once more. Parks. Just a step offside as he tried to time that just right. But he was just a step offside. Face-off coming back inside the Cougar zone. Duncan McLaughlin in to take the draw now for the Rage. He'll win that one. Not many draw wins here for the Rage, but that's a good one there from McLaughlin. Throwing around, he's in behind the goal now. Out front, broken up there by Dixon. He'll try and skate it out. Gets to the blue line. Parks chips it in for Dixon, thrown out front. Nobody home there for the Cougars, so the Rage will collect it and chip it into the neutral zone. Braun throws it right back in. Brabant comes out from behind his goal, leaves it there for Norris. Norris for Brabant. Played ahead for Price. Sims chips it up for McNeil. He'll cross it over for Johnson. Johnson throws it out front. Too many white shirts in the high slot, and the Rage will pick that up, send it the length of the ice, and icing will be the call. Face off in the Harbour Rage territory. Ty Timmins in to take the draw here for the Cougars. Rage control. Thrown in deep by Arsenault. He'll give chase. Now Dando for Baldwin. Throws it into the corner. Braun goes back to get it. Rage keep it in once more. Dando, his shot, right on goal, and Braun will set up behind the goal. Feeds it ahead for O'Neill. O'Neill tries to find Johnson. Now O'Neill with it again. Steps over the blue line. O'Neill, cross ice, feed, they score. Johnson to O'Neill. To Ty Timmins, and he will launch it over the glove of Colson Gould, and the Cougars have a 2-0 lead. Beautiful passing play there by the Cougars, and Timmins able to end that one. But here come the Rage. Broken up there by McLeod. Steps around his man, tries to get it out, but picked up there by Timmins. Here's O'Neill. Offsides the call. Teams will change up personnel. Buckley in to take the draw for the Cougars, but that's won by McPhee. McPhee. Thrown out front. They score. Puck squirts free on the side of the goal. And it looks like it's going to be Ethan March picking that up as Gould lost sight of it. And the Cougars strike early and often here in the second. 3-0 the score. Rage enter the zone. Here's March. Ethan March, the goal scorer, in around the goal. Tries to play it up to the D, but it's broken up there by the Rage, and they'll come out 3-on-2. Off Donaldson's skate. Down under Wambach, who will take the face off. So in quick succession, the Cougars strike twice and open up a 3-0 lead. Rage looking for an answer here. Brabant chips in off the line, so the Cougars no longer get out. Mayo tries to chip that back. Now the Rage leave it there. Shot on goal. Chevrier wins a puck battle down low. Cougars try to come away with it. Mayo down for Donaldson. Over for Chevrier trying to throw it out front. Trudel jumps off the line. Up top. Mayo shot in front. They score! Shot from the point. Wambach can't control it. Leaves the rebound there. And it looks like Landon Chevrier will lead the charge back in the handshake line. And the Rage are on the board. Chevrier not giving up on that puck, and he gets rewarded. And the Rage have cut into this Cougars lead. Carroll steps over the line. His shot. Wambach turns it aside. Carroll still with it. Takes a heavy hit in the corner, but Carroll still on the puck. Good effort here from the captain, Carroll. Cougars flip that out, trying to find O'Neill in stride, not able to do so. Gould. Carroll leaves it there for Dando. He'll rim that around. Sims picks that up on the line and throws it right back in. Timmins still with it in the corner. Thrown out for O'Neill. His shot, kicked aside there at the last second by Gould. This Timmins, O'Neill, Johnson line have been very good for the Cougars here this morning. Timmins, his shot deflects high up and over the glass. It's McLaughlin back there without a stick, tries to kick it free. Not able to do so. Braun leaves it there for Johnston. Up top for O'Neill. Down for Johnston. Circles back into the corner. Takes a hit there, but it's played back up top for Braun. His shot will get through. Gould will kick that aside. O'Neill hops over his stick. Into the corner it goes. O'Neill throws it out onto the stick of Braun. His shot, Gould finds that. And he'll hold on for the face-off. More sustained offensive zone time for this Johnston, Timmins, O'Neill line. They've been a handful for the Rage here this morning. Now Buckley in to take the draw for the Cougars. But another draw won there by Chevrier. And the Rage control. Head. That puck tips up and out of play. Almost up here in the broadcast booth, but not quite. Face off just outside the Cougar zone. Chevrier in to take the draw. Battle along the wall. Buckley will retrieve it and hand it to Graves. Sam Graves tries to chip that ahead, but he'll reverse course for McLeod, who will throw that up for March. Good play by Norris to disrupt that play, and now Norris will pick it up in behind the Rage goal. Tries to chip it through, but Dulesky breaks that up. Up top, shot! That hits Trudel on its way to the goal. back up top now. Graves dances on the blue line. Thrown down low, but broken up there. Mertz shot. That one tips and goes wide. Trudel off the high glass and out. Donaldson gives chase, beats out the icing call. Now McLeod will settle things down for the Cougars and start a breakout. McLeod feeds that ahead. Dulesky will just chip that in and start a change for the Cougars. Parks circles behind. Broken up there by the Rage, and they'll turn it up ice. Crawford steps over the line. His shot turned into the corner there by Wambach. Crawford's still on it now. It's knocked in behind the Cougar goal. Off the line is Dando. He'll chip that down low. Now it's Crawford. Out front shot. That didn't miss by much as Carroll sneaks in off the line. Carroll off the wall. Thrown Crawford, his shot. Good puck movement here by the Rage as they start to get the offensive mojo going. Couple dangerous looks as the Rage try to chip away at this Cougar lead. Offensive zone draw coming up here for the Rage. Cruz Baldwin in to take the draw. He'll win that. Baldwin steps over the blue line. Thrown in behind the goal, and Crawford is there to pick it up. Out front for Dando, shot. Good save by Wambach, good setup there. Dando gets teed up for the one-timer in the high slot. Puck gets tipped up and out of play. So face-off once again will come inside the Cougar zone, and Jack McPhee in to take the draw. McPhee with it. Circles the top. Rebound in front, but enough Cougar players in front there to turn that aside. Brabant over for McPhee. Jake McPhee throws it in deep. Wambach out to play it. In behind the goal it goes. Mayo is in there. Digging with Simon. But Cougars come away with it. Lead pass for O'Neill. Good back check there by Brabant. Rims it around. Down low. Rage will chip it up and out of the zone. Back to get it is Graves. Weaves through the neutral zone. Steps over the blue line. Graves still with it now. Thrown out front and they score. Sam Graves leads the charge up ice. Drops the shoulder, goes to goal. Gould makes the save, but leaves the rebound as Kellen Buckley is there to pick it up and put it home. 4-1, the Cougars now lead. Buckley can't get it through. Played ahead and it's chipped forward by Price. Price and McLeod collide in the corner. Puck battle still going on. Cougars come away with it. Lead pass. Hops over the stick of Marsh. Graves with it now. McLeod chips that in and will start a change. Carroll. He's watched closely by a couple Cougars. Puck comes free, but thrown back in behind the goal. They reverse course. Now Price picks that up, plays that puck ahead. Turned over in the neutral zone, and Barry starts out for the Cougars. Steps over the blue line, drops it for Parks. It's in his skates, so he'll just rim it in behind the net. Barry, shot off a shin pad. Parks, far side, plays it back. Broken up there by Mayo. Steps over the line. Donaldson tries to find it. Wambach can't find it on the ice. Now he will, and he will cover up. .8:30 to go in the second period. Joneljim Cougars with a 4-1 lead over the Harbour Rage, sorry, my mistake. Wambach covers up for another face-off. Landon Chevrier been very good in the face-off circle for the Harbour Rage. Thrown back down low, Chevrier. Chipped up top to the D partner, Brabant. His shot gets through, but Wambach leaves that aside. Turned up by the Cougars. Gets to the neutral zone, and that's as far as it'll go. Played ahead. Baldwin chips it forward for Donaldson. Donaldson for Mayo. Mayo trying to find Baldwin cutting through the middle. Now chips it out front, but again, too many blue shirts in front, and the Cougars will skate away with it. Mayo will just try and chip it in deep to start a change, but McLeod is there to break that up. McLeod heads up ice. Drops it for O'Neill. In behind the goal now is McLeod. Still with it, trying to shake off a couple defenders. And he's still with it now in behind the goal. McLeod loses the handle. As the Rage now 2-on-1 developing. Crawford loses the handle over for Burgoyne, as he's met with a heavy hit there from the back checking McLeod, and Graves will start it up ice once again. Graves' shot. Gould stops that but leaves a rebound. Now O'Neill. Parks in behind the goal. Thrown out front shot. Johnston. That misses. Now Timmins covering for the streaking Sam Graves. Thrown ahead. Little too far out of the reach. No. As Crawford gets there, pokes it out of Wambach, who wanted to stop that for a face-off. Timmins chips it ahead for Johnston. Dando recovers. Now O'Neill leaves it for Timmins. Shot. Save Gould. Another save Gould. As again, this line for the Cougars has been very dangerous every time they're on the ice. Now we got a little bit of the rough stuff going on. Looks like O'Neill will get a penalty call here. I think it's going to be goaltender interference. So we got two Cougars heading to the penalty box. So it looks like the Harbour Rage will be going to the power play. So we got Johnston and O'Neill heading to the box for the Cougars. And Austin Crawford headed to the box for the Rage. So a 2-minute power play given to the Harbour Rage. He's still getting the penalties sorted out here. And the Rage will go to the power play. Cruz Baldwin in to take this draw. And he'll win it cleanly. Rage controlling off the face-off. Baldwin off the half wall. Thrown out front. That just hops over the stick of Chevrier. With it in behind the goal now. Leaves it there for Smith. Smith looks at his options. Crossing pass. Good stick in front there by Dixon, is able to clear it out. Great chance by the Rage there. March breaks that play up. But Smith, good coverage for the Rage, and he'll start it up ice. Trying to get set up are the Rage. Simon over for Baldwin. Back for Brabant. His shot gets on goal. Rebound. Still loose. Before the Cougars will find it, but Brabant keeps it in at the blue line. Circles up to the top. Over for Simon. Off his skate and out of the zone. Simon forced back into his own zone. Thrown ahead, but now Braun turns it up. His shot over the net. 30 seconds left here in the power play. Played ahead. Here's McPhee. In behind the goal. He's knocked off the puck and separated, so Braun can pick it up and send it the length of the ice. Gould plays it for Dando. He's having a hard time controlling it now. Picked up there. Penalty over. Team's back to even strength. Dando's cross ice pass broken up by Braun. Throws it down. Heavy hit in the corner there. Parks takes that one. Sims steps in on the line. Carroll building up a head of steam in behind his goal. Carroll chips it in. As Carroll and Sims get tied up. And Sims will get the call. Will there be coincidentals? Carroll also going to the penalty box. Both players getting holding calls. Face-off will come inside the Cougars' territory. Duncan McLaughlin in to take the draw for the Rage. Squirts free. Cougars with it in the neutral zone. O'Neill heads over the blue line. His shot up and over the glass. Almost kicked in the goal there from a back-checking Hayden Trudel. But now the Rage. Step over the blue line. McLaughlin is separated from the puck there. Norris steps in off the line. Heavy hit in the corner. We got a player down. He's back up on his feet now. Physicality starting to ramp up in this one. Price chips it in cross corner. Mayo turns and fires off Graves' shin pads. Graves skates it in over the blue line. Cuts to the middle of the ice. Knocked off his stick. McPhee tries to get away. Now here's Simon. But again, Graves on the back check breaks that play up. Shakes off his man. D-to-D pass. Rims around. Now Daleski will try to get it out, but he's met there by McLaughlin. Or Baldwin, sorry. Chipped in low, heavy hit in the corner there. Again, more physicality between these two teams. Up to the top is Dando. His shot over the crossbar. Rage with some sustained pressure here, looking for a goal. Dando. Shot through. Oh, that didn't miss by much. Brabant. Back down low. Leaves it for Mayo. Cross seam pass, trying to find Simon. Jumps over his stick. Final minute of play here in the second. Dando stops the progress of that. Baldwin there to cover it up. And Simon in a foot race with Barry. He's got Mayo in front. Mayo there. Baldwin shot. Wambach couldn't find it. And now Parks the other way. Back and forth these teams go. 30 seconds now left in the second. Timmins trying to find Johnston. Jumps over his stick. Johnston circling the zone. Throws it out front. Gould will pick that up. As again, more rough stuff ensues. Roughing for both Parks and Trudel. Offsetting Miners will play 5-on-5. Timmins in to take the draw for the Cougars. He'll win that back. Dixon's shot goes up and over the goal. Now they'll skate it out. Chipped in with 5 seconds to go. Up the boards, and that will do it. As more chippiness, rough stuff after the whistle, but after 2 periods of play, the Joneljim Cougars 4, the Harbour Rage 1. We will be back with third period action after this brief intermission.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
welcome back for third period action here between the Harbour Rage and the Joneljim Cougars. Cougars with a 4-1 lead after 2. Looking to complete the weekend sweep here of the Rage. Picked up now. Trying to chip that ahead for O'Neill, but it's turned right back around, and Dixon will go back to get it. Off the boards, into the neutral zone. Carroll there to stop progress and throw it right back in. Barry stops up behind his goal, and he's flushed out. Tries a lead pass, but Carroll once again with a good stick breaks that play up. Dixon gets over the line. His shot, Gould grabs that. Does not give up a rebound. (25-17) shots on goal currently favoring the Cougars, as Buckley settles in for the draw. Rage not able to get that past the blue line as it's thrown in around, and Graves pops off the line and throws it back in behind the goal. Crawford has it knocked off his stick by Daleski. Graves throws it cross corner, and Norris is there to pick it up for the Rage. Up top, Graves again keeps that in, tipped just wide of the goal. McLeod keeps it in at the blue line. Still with it now is McLeod. Walks to the middle of the ice, tries to find the cross seam play down low, but that's broken up. Daleski circles around, takes a shot off the side of the goal. Crawford loses the handle. Graves still on it. Now Graves steps over the blue line into the far side and chips it in behind the goal. No one there for the Cougars as they were changing out personnel, and O'Neill is on it now, but hands it over to Crawford. Ahead, stepping onto it is Price. Price still with it now, picks it up, rims it in behind the goal. Price still on it. Over for Carroll. That shot just wide, and Blake Price on it there once again. Chips it in behind the goal, rims it around the boards. Rage trying to get something going offensively here, down by 3. Carroll, his shot off a shin pad, but not out. Dando high over the crossbar. Cougars will try once again to get it out, but Blake Price keeps that in. Cougars now will get it out into the neutral zone, but that's as far as it'll go as Dando turns the puck of ice. He's watched very closely there by Timmins. Dando, nice little pass for McPhee over for Arsenault. Arsenault loses the handle on it. As the puck is turned up ice. Thrown out in front. Norris will try again. Off the boards. McPhee over for Simon. He loses the handle, and the Cougars chip that into the neutral zone, but here they come again. That shot whistles just wide, and it'll go the full length of the ice. Norris back to get it. Tries a reverse play, and Crawford is there for the Rage. McPhee finds Simon. Simon chips it past, but Dixon, good recovery there. But Simon breaks that play up. Now Simon, one-on-one. Simon shot, Wambach the save. And the Cougars will get it out of the zone, but Crawford good on the back check, able to break that up, and here come the Rage once again. Dando throws it out front, broken up there by the Cougars. Carroll, his shot blocked on its way to the goal, and the Cougars will get it out, but not very far. Good pressure here from the Rage, again, as they're trying to get something going offensively and cut into this lead. Carroll back to get it now for the Rage. Fans on the pass. Dulesky watches him closely. Mayo circles back in behind his goal. Plays it up the wall, but not out. Timmins keeps that in. Ty Timmins loses it to Dando, who circles in behind the Rage goal. Stops up, looks for options. Finds Donaldson, who chips that into the zone. Wambach leaves it there for Graves. Graves can't get past Mayo. And now the Cougars will get it out of their zone. Back for Norris. Played ahead now for Mayo. Throws that in. McLeod back there, watched closely by Baldwin. McLeod and Baldwin clash behind the goal. Now McLeod chips it out of the zone. Graves sets it up. Now McLeod. Lead pass for Johnson. He just touches it on there for O'Neill. Johnson, his shot, tipped into the corner. With it again now is Johnson. Shot on goal, save Gould. Johnson finds Sims coming off the bench into the zone. Perfect setup. Great save by Gould. Face off now in the Rage territory. That puck's going to get out, so the Cougars will have the touch up. That gives the Rage some time to get out, and they will. Here's Carroll through the neutral zone. Carroll, shot off the post. That close, what a rush by the captain, Bryce Carroll. Price can't slip it through the skates. Price still on it now. In a battle down low with Braun. Heavy hit there by Carroll. And Carroll will take a slashing call as he gets a little extra to Sims after the big hit. So after the big hit, Bryce Carroll with a little extracurriculars on Sims. That's going to cost him a penalty. And the Cougars will go to the power play. Draw one by the Cougars. Here's Graves. His shot turned aside by Gould. And that'll be enough to get out of the zone. Another penalty coming up here. Offsetting minors there, so the Cougars will stay on the power play. Graves will get 2 minutes for head contact. Rage will take a holding call. 4-on-3. Or 5-on-4. Offsetting minors, my apologies. Miscommunication by the Cougars gives the Rage chance to get the control, but not out. McLeod shot, Gould the save. Timmins and Price line up for the draw here in the Rage zone. Draw won by the Cougars. Braun gets to the middle of the ice. Puck played down low. Back up top, now it's back on the stick of Braun. His shot just gets through and they score! And the Cougars with another power play goal this weekend. It will be Avery Johnson leading the charge back to the handshake line. And the power play has been red hot for the Cougars. They'll put another one up. 5-1 now, the Cougars lead. Braun shakes off his man, chips it up, just jumps over the stick of Buckley. No icing on the play. Reverse play for the Rage. Now they'll try and get it out, not able to do so. Braun with it. Buckley can't get a hold of it. Parks has it jump over his stick, and that gives Price an opportunity now to skate it out. He'll get it out as far as the red line. Back to get it now. Parks reads that play. Sims on the blue line, gives it up. Now here's Simon, one-on-one. Simon breaks free. Simon can't get through. Now McPhee will try. Wambach with the save. Good effort there from the Rage. But Wambach with another big save. Rimmed around and out. Foot race now. Bonner's on it. He'll pick it up and circle in behind the goal. Throws it out front. That shot turns and fires. And along the boards. Now Donaldson picks it up. Ahead for Crawford. He'll lose the handle, and the Cougars will throw it right back in cross corner. Norris ribs it around the boards. Crawford is there to pick it up. Feeds it ahead for Simon. Jumps off his stick. Dixon picks it up and throws it back into the Rage territory. They'll skate it out again. Here's Donaldson over the blue line. Feeds it around. Now Mayo on the half wall. Walks off. Shot. Wambach leaves the rebound. Dando almost had one there. Offsides there are the Cougars. .8:54 to go in this one. Cougars with a 5-1 lead. Johnson trying to feed it down low. They'll get it down to Timmins. Timmins trying to find the D-man coming off the blue line. They'll play it up. Buckley chips it into the zone. Timmins gives chase. Dando off the ball. Here's Chevrier. Head for Mayo. Mayo chips it into the corner. Battles along the wall there with Barry. Down low is Chevrier. Up top for Dando. Winds and fires fans on the shot. But he's on it again. That one, he'll get all of it. It goes over the net, back into the Rage territory. Brabant. Chevrier trying to play that in. Here's Graves. Over the blue line with a head of steam. Circles in behind the goal. Finds Parks. His shot fans on that. Gould the save. Parks with it again. Drops it there for Graves. Moves to the middle of the ice. His shot hits a stick in front and is deflected into the corner. Norris in behind the goal. Coughs it up there. Puck on top of the net. And the ref will blow it dead. .7:04 to go in the third period. Cougars still with a 5-1 lead here in this one. Draw one by the Rage, right back into the pads of Gould's. We had to be aware of that one. Another draw one there by the Rage. Norris rims it around the boards for Arsenault. Over for Perks, shot. Bonner just fanned on that one. Up top, that hits Rage player, and into the corner it goes. Parks flips it into the corner. Bonner is on it. Chip down into the corner. Daleski back up top. Graves jumps in off the line. Throws it in behind goal. Sam Graves still with it now. Down for Daleski. He's knocked off the puck. And the Rage will skate it out and throw it in. Sims loses the handle. Dando is there, now McPhee. Jake McPhee tries to go to goal, but his progress is impeded. Now Parks turns it up ice. 1-on-3. Zenon Parks shot. That goes wide. Jumps over Simon's stick. And O'Neill coming off the bench almost gets a grade A opportunity there. McLeod into the corner. Throws it out front over the stick of O'Neill. Crawford picks it up. And he'll get it out of the zone. Heavy hit there. McLeod on Crawford. But the Rage with it now. Here's shot on goal. Save there. Wambach. Carroll trying to cut to the net, but he gets tripped up. Now Dixon. He'll try cross feed, but now it's March. He can't get through, and Carroll tries to skate it out of the zone. Puck will get out. Slashing will be the call. It'll go against Simon. Simon will be shown the gate. Crawford will serve the penalty. McLeod shot saved by Gould. Face off to the left of Gould. Buckley in to take it now for the Cougars. Won by the Rage. That puck will go up and out of play. They'll redo the draw. McLeod keeps it in at the line. Walks in. Takes a shot, that one just over the crossbar. Dixon. Leaves it for McLeod. Over for Murch. Shot, Gould the save, rebound, back out to Dixon. Now McLeod. Gould gets square to the shooter and makes the save. 3:41 to go. 1:13 left now in the man advantage. Timmins in to take the draw for the Cougars, and he'll win it back to Braun. Rebound. Quick whistle from the officials. Quick whistle from the officials will blow that play dead. And a break for the Rage as the face-off is won by the Cougars. Graves. Shot hits Carroll on the way to the goal. Cougars with it now. Braun trying to find Graves. In behind the goal it goes. Timmins picks it up. Timmins. Cross feed finds Graves. On a beautiful passing play on the power play, Graves sneaking in off the point. One times the beautiful feed from Ty Timmins. And the Cougars have a 6-1 lead. Dixon rims it around the boards. Daleski chips it but not out. Wambach will cover up. Rimmed around now, Price. Chips it in. Dixon's there to pick it up. Ahead for Parks. Trudel. Head for McLaughlin. Leaves it there for Arsenault. Tries to chip that in, but not far enough. Cougars turn it over. Here's McPhee. Shot. Wambach the save. And he'll hold on. 1:45 to go. McLeod can't get it out. Now McPhee. Watched closely there by McLeod. McPhee still with it. Knocked off his stick. Rage keep it in. Broken up there, and now it's played ahead. O'Neill. Up top for Graves. He'll fire that one through. Hits a couple shin pads before it lands in front of Gould, and he'll jump on it for the faceoff. Face off to the left of Gould. Ty Timmins in to take this one. Rage. Walk it out of the zone. Mayo ahead for Donaldson. Donaldson burst of speed, shot off the crossbar. And Mayo is there to clean it up. As what a burst of speed from Nash Donaldson. Hits the crossbar. Zach Mayo cleans that up. The tap in to make it 6-2. Under a minute to go in this one. Norris ahead for Mayo. Throws it on. Wambach bobbles it. Norris throws it out front. That doesn't get there as the Cougars will just chip it out into the neutral zone. Timmins. 12 seconds to go. Feeds it in front for Johnston. Now down to 5. And that will do it here in North Sydney. From the Americenter, your final score. Joneljim Cougars 6, Harbour Rage 2. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast and the many broadcasts that High Button Sports brings to you. Signing off from the Americenter here in North Sydney. Again, your final score. Joneljim Cougars 2, Joneljim Cougars 6, Harbour Rage 2. We wish you a great Sunday evening. Take care.